When black people come together, that is one of the biggest threats in America. Now, I'll go give these guys, me and Brandon are from South Carolina. Since Black History right around the corner. I'm going to tell you what started all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Slavery was going on in the 1700s. And some folks in Carolina picked up the wrong slaves from Africa, Brandon.
Okay.
In this case, instead of having slaves from different tribes, they brought in slaves from the same tribe that spoke the same language.
Mm-hmm.
And in Africa, they was warriors.
Gotcha.
So they went to a plantation, those same groups speaking the same language, former warriors, went to a plantation in South Carolina. These slaves started to organize, talk to each other.
Right.
They started to communicate, and they did a rebellion. It's called the Stone Rebellion in South Carolina. These slaves went to the owners, the slave master, chopping off heads everywhere they went. And they said, we go take this all the way down to Florida, because if we could get to Florida, Florida was run by the Spaniards, and they could have got rid of slavery by then in Spain. The Indians still had it, but we ain't going to say too much. So when this happened, the white folks got together and said, we cannot have black people talk to each other. We cannot have black people group together. We cannot have black people to read or write. All because when these guys group together, talk to each other, they become a threat to us.
Right.
That's why when you see these cops, you could watch this, Brandon. I could take 5 black guys, put them in a white area. If I put a cigarette in somebody's hand in a book bag, I guarantee the cops go stop and pull them over and stand it up.
Yeah,
I guarantee you.
For sure. Because
it's illegal for black men to stand up or be around or communicate with each other. It's almost illegal.
Because it seemed as a threat and, an uprising, right? Like, do you think it's like traumatic, or they fear what we can do when we come together? Like, because we're not when we do come together, I'm talking about presently, when we do come together and rise up, it's not to get any get back. It's just to establish ourselves, and so we can do the right thing and build on our own. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think people have a problem, like we're trying to be segregated, or even if that's the case, like they should see other races see how we are and how we do each other clearly with this situation right here. All we're trying to do is better ourselves so we can love each other in the right way.
When black people come together, that is one of the biggest threats in America. So on this channel, me and Brandon are 2 black guys. We try to come together. And if we get more of us come together, we could form some power and some influence.
Right.
And that is a threat. Watch this, Brandon. Everybody was down when Black Lives Matter first came out, won't they?
Yeah, they were.
Because black people came together. So to throw that off, they had to put some
funny
other people, some funny pieces in it, and that messed it up. During the pandemic, when the pandemic first happened, when they had George Floyd got killed, it was a black gun group that marched down in Georgia. Could have been 300 guys with guns, black guys. Remember that, Brandon?
Yeah, I'm trying to think what the name of that group was. I kind of remember the leader. Dang, what was it called?
And guess what happened to the leader, Brandon?
He got FBI charges.
Out of nowhere. And
he's gone. He's gone.
He's gone. See, those group of black men walking in order like an army, a militia, your Bill of Rights, you got a right to form a militia.
All right.
They were strapped, organized. That was one of the biggest threats to America happened, man.
And we can't even remember his name now or the group's name. But I remember they were saying he tried to aim a rifle at a federal agent.
And watch this. See, watch this. And this is how they do to you. Brandon said he tried to aim a rifle. In my recollection, they got him from Texas. So they got they got two things on you at the same time. You can't fight both of them.
You can't fight both of them, and you're gonna fold. And you know,
no, you ain't gonna fold. You gonna do the time.
But it's sad, and I think that's why a lot of people are scared to stand up and be that leader. Like, we don't necessarily need a leader. We just all need to come together, because I think when you have a leader or somebody to come after, they're going to come after him and they're going to take him out, him or her.
You know, some movie, I forgot, they used to have the leader, the person in charge of the military used to ride a horse.
Yeah. Mm.
But smart people said, I ain't gonna ride this horse because that make me a target.
Exactly.
I'm gonna get down in disguise in the group.
Yeah.
So
and be in the back a little bit.
You got them punk ass leaders do be in the back. But you can lead from the back by motivating the people under you.
Correct.
But I don't believe you can't.
What leader has to lead by example?
Yeah, you can't lead me if you in the damn back. Like you take a boss, a boss can't be a good boss if he's in the office all day ain't doing that. You know,
right.
You know what's going on.
But you know, also a boss can't be a good boss if he's doing all the work that the workers are supposed to be doing too. So you have to find a good balance.
Correct. Now, Brandon, watch this. I'll continue with this history lesson. I'm gonna read this. Slave patrols continue until the end of the Civil War and the passage of the 13th Amendment. Following the Civil War, during Reconstruction, slave patrols were replaced by military-style groups, aka the police, who was empowered to control and deny access to equal rights to free slaves. They relentlessly and systematically forced black codes, strict local and state laws. They regulated and restricted access to labor, wages, voter rights, and general freedoms from the former slaves. So a lot of this wording right here has a lot of things that's still in policing in 2023, ain't it, Brandon?
Yeah.
Military style groups. Now, I watched the show Andy Griffin. All right. Andy Griffin walked around with no weapon, Brandon. Because you know why?
Why?
They respected the badge. Right. That's what he say.
Correct.
So, but why?
But was it just the badge? Was it just the badge? I think color has something to do with it too.
Brandon, I watch too much now. Okay, on the Andy Griffin show, the white people will try to fight Andy Griffin at the same time. So you don't get it twisted. Barney, what's his name?
Barney Fife.
Barney Fife. He got in a lot of fights. You know? So they respect the badge to a certain level.
Correct. Just
like what happened on January the 6th.
Right.
They saw those badges. Not today. So it's a lot of hypocrites in America. Of course. A lot of hypocrites. But
why is that? Like, why? I guess, do people feel like they're above the law whenever they feel like they can be above the law?
What people are you talking about?
With their group?
Saxons?
Yeah. Because do you think? I mean, because I know they can jump bad with the police, but can we jump bad with the police when we look the same?
Remember, laws are to them to benefit them and hurt us. Correct. That sounds bad, ain't it?
Yeah, but that's true though. And I like I say, they put laws in place for a reason, and they knew what they were doing when they had these laws in place. And we, like I say, we were slaves, and they didn't even want to change that and make it into a thing. Like, they didn't want to free us. And even when they did free us, they still held us. And even when they were forced to release us, they still oppressed us. And I think that's a part that people don't see. And that oppression just eased up, but it's still, we're still being oppressed, and we're still being policed differently and governed differently.
Now, Brandon, what's that thing it's illegal to do to stand up at a certain place? Is it soliciting? Well, you can't stand up.
What you mean stand up?
It's like against the law in some places for a group of people to stand up, like on a public street.
Soliciting? Soliciting. Yeah, that's soliciting. Yeah, I get what you say. Yeah.
Now, does that even make sense?
It doesn't make any sense.
We in a free world, in a public place, but if y'all don't do what we say, Y'all move. Y'all keep it moving.
Well,
We're
well,
gonna say y'all
soliciting.
Huh?
I guess they could, yeah, to say that you're doing that, like you're a group, or you're trying to sell something, or you're trying to push something, or you're blocking. You know, you're
Stand it up, lean it on the wall. You know,
right.
And
But no, that's a different one. What is that called? Is that soliciting? Not soliciting. It's but I know what you mean. But yeah, you're right. You if you just on the corner, just post it up like on a corner store or something like that. That's illegal if they wanted to enforce that. I get what you're saying. I'm not sure if that's the exact term or not, but yes.
Now, brother, you want to read the next one?
Okay. In 1868, ratification of the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution technically granted equal protections to African American, essentially abolishing black codes. Jim Crow laws and state and local statutes that legalized racial segregation swiftly took their place. By the 1900s,
municipalities,
I'm gonna skip that one, began to establish police departments to enforce local laws in the East and West, including the Jim Crow laws. Local, hit it again, because I ain't gonna be able to say municipalities. Lean on police to enforce and exert excessive brutality on African Americans who violated any Jim Crow laws. Jim Crow laws continued through the end of the 1960s.
All right, Jim Crow laws is basically, I'm gonna tell y'all Negroes where to stand, where to move, where to work, where to eat, where to live, and where to vote.
People want to act like this stuff never really even happened, but it did, and we can't just erase it and just move on like this stuff didn't it didn't stop our growth. Like, people got a head start and we didn't. We got pushed back, and we're trying to get to the 0 point so we can begin moving forward.
Well, I'm trying to say, Brandon, every skin folks ain't these guys are not your friends.
What guys? These black
guys in the picture.
I got you.
They are paid very well to uphold the basic roots of policing, and the roots of policing is excess brutality to black people, controlling black people, and that's what they what they exhibit.
But it's a lot of black cops. There's a lot of good cops. And there's a lot of people that want to do the right thing and want to protect and serve. But it's just hard without us reforming some of the stuff that is policing and how they govern different states. The whole attitude of police need to change. You don't need to be trying to just actively profile people and stop people at night. I mean, it just leads to bad things. I'm not saying just because you're out, you should get a free pass, but they got to tone it down because people are going through a lot already, and you pull them over, they might not have their registration and all this, but it's just people are being pushed. They're going to push back some too, and then you're going to get aggressive. They're going to get aggressive, and we're going to have an outcome like this.
I watched a video clip this week from Highport, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
A black man, he was driving a Scat Pack Dodge.
Mm-hmm.
He passed a police officer. Him and the police officer made eye contact while he passed him. The police officer then pulled out and got behind him.
Mm-hmm.
The police officer then noticed that a piece of his license plate was covered up by a decal
mm-hmm.
and pulled him over.
Okay.
Brandon, why did the police, after making contact, pull out and try to find something? Did he see that decal? Why he
he didn't. But their minds start processing. Okay, it's a Scat Pack, it's a Challenger, it's a Dodge, it's probably drugs. That's just how they program to think or trained to think in a way. And like I say, they may be right. But is it necessary to start doing all this police work and try to figure out what's going on and pull this person over? Not really in my assessment.
And watch this. The man gave him a warning, right? Because the decal was coming up by the person he bought the car from. The little things.
Right. Yeah, I know they go around. Mm-hmm.
He gave him a warning. The next day, just before he's about to leave, he said, "Sir, you got any guns or illegal stuff in that car?" Mm-hmm. He was like, "No, I'm a truck driver. You see, I got my DLL. Yeah, well, let's wait and let's bring the dogs out here to sniff it just in case." You see what I'm talking about, Brandon?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they don't like to be wrong about their assessment and their prejudgment. So then they want to go to waste your time, because that's your time, that's your money. You got to sit on the side of the road just because a regular person who's been deemed an officer, now he has power, he can do whatever he wants to you.
Because, and I hate to tell you, this is what happens. Brandon may understand. You drive and make eye contact with a cop, he pulling your ass over.
Right. Because it does look suspicious, but you know, you gotta know when you grow into this and you kind of learn. I don't even look at police anymore because I'm not looking around no more like that. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to speed limit. If I see a cop over there, if I look over there like this and looking like that, yeah, woo, woo, that's what's happening next. So but if I'm just doing my own thing, I'm focused on the road, I'm focused on where I'm going. I haven't got pulled over since then, since operating under that.
So you tell me you have to be submissive.
No, I'm doing my regular thing. It's a regular car.
Don't look me in my eyes, boy. Look on the ground, boy. Don't look me in my eyes.
And you know what? And I'm not saying that's what's going on, but I live to see another day. I haven't been pulled over. My time hasn't been wasted. I see a cop car. Yeah, I see a cop car. It's a cop car. I may look over. I may see him, but I know I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm in the right. I ain't got to worry about it. I'm gonna keep going with my day. I'm not turning my music down. I ain't doing none of that stuff no more. But you know, you'll do that back in the day. You'll try to make sure your seatbelt on. You trying to look at your speed. No, because other people don't have to worry about that stuff. So I'm not gonna worry about it either. And luckily, I haven't been pulled over or anything like that. So
audience, what Brandon just said is, cops, you cannot look them in. You cannot look at them.
You can't.
If you look at a cop and you black while you're driving,
tell me I'm wrong.
You're getting pulled over.
You are. Tell me I'm wrong. If you, I mean, that's just what it is.
I ain't looking at no cop. I tell you that. Right. You look at the cop in America. All the audience. This is the experience. This is the black experience right here.
Right. And this is our experience. We're entitled to our experience. You're entitled to your own experience.
You could be 100% legal.
Correct.
Everything is correct on your car. If those windows are tinted and your window was down and they can see your complexion and you made eye contact with the cop on the other side of the highway, he's driving around pulling you over.
Right. And on top of that, if you're black and you have a Dodge vehicle, you're getting pulled over. I'm sorry. If you got a Challenger or a Charger, they're gonna pull you over. They're gonna just think you just fit a profile that they have. They know you smoke weed. It might, depending on your state, it may be illegal, it may be legal.
South Carolina Senator Tim Scott, I think he was driving a Mercedes or a BMW. Allegedly, he looked at a cop and they pulled him over. And he's a damn United States citizen.
And I think they gave him a hard time too, right? And he had to kind of explain who he was.
Yeah. You know, see, if I was Tim Scott right then, I said, oh, now I know he kind of, what color is his wife? He got a wife?
I don't know. We could look it up, but you know, we probably were right on our assessment.
If I was Tim Scott then, I said, he may be delusional. I said, he did me wrong. I would get this man fired. That's what I do. A senator could get a police officer fired if they wanted to.
Right.
Easy.
Or start working towards and speaking out about that type of stuff. Like,
you won't get reelected, Brandon.
No, you won't. You won't.
So if I was Tim Scott, that man would be fired.
Right, but he can't even be mad because you're either going to be their puppet or you're going to be out of here. So you're either going to be trying to make changes for them, and that's why you got elected, because the majority got you elected, or you're going to be trying to work for your people, and we're going to get you out of here.
All right, Brandon, what's the next topic you got going on? What's your little thing you got?
Wait, pause. Let's see.